fire and its spread right now. The National Weather Service has extended the red flag warning through 10 a.m. on Friday for most of Los Angeles and Ventura counties. Light to moderate Santa Ana winds will continue tonight and into Thursday. The situation remains dynamic, and the fire remains a difficult fire to contain, although we are getting the upper hand. I would now like to invite up Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna to give an update on evacuations and the closure of the I-5. Thank you.
Good evening to everybody, and thank you, Chief Maroney. So for us, obviously in Unified Command with our partners at the fire department from the very beginning of this fire incident, and right now the numbers that I have is that we have approximately 31,000 people who are affected by our evacuation orders, another 23,000 that are impacted by evacuation warnings. Along with the work that our deputies have been doing, and you've seen them going from neighborhood to neighborhood, making sure that we are protecting the neighborhoods to make sure nobody gets hurt, traffic ingress and egress, and also, unfortunately, when we talk about fires, our staff knows that immediately they start what we call looter suppression, just to make sure that no one's coming into the area to take advantage when people are evacuating their homes. So I want to make sure people know that if you leave your homes, there will be additional deputies working out there in the neighborhoods to make sure your homes are safe. In regards to staffing, we are staffing up. You hear sirens in the distance. They're not only fire apparatus, but you see deputies coming in from different parts of the county. You see our incident management team over my left shoulder setting up with the big trailers that will assume responsibility for this incident from the Sheriff's Department perspective, and again in Unified Command with all of our partners. We have what I estimate well over 400 personnel total regarding this incident and managing other incidences around the county of Los Angeles. I do want to bring your attention to the fact that during this incident, one of the areas that initially was an evacuation warning that did turn into an evacuation order was our Pitches Detention Center, which is not too far from here. The Pitches Detention Center has actually 3 different facilities. One of the facilities was evacuated. In discussing this with our partners from the fire department who are experts in this area, they recommended and we agreed that the one facility, PD South, would be evacuated. That had approximately 476 inmates. We moved those inmates to another facility on the campus. The other 2 campuses are structured much better than the one that we evacuated from. But total on the entire campus, we have approximately 4,500 inmates, a little over that. We do have a plan in place in case the fire conditions, our fire partners would advise if it gets worse, whether it's wind, whatever that may be, a plan in place to evacuate the rest of the inmates on the entire facility if we absolutely had to. Other than that, it's a newer incident and it's evolving. It's going to change. We're ready for just about anything, which, by the way, includes being prepared for any other incident that would break, God forbid, anywhere in the county of Los Angeles. I do want to report that the 5 freeway has been closed, but I'm told that after this press conference, for a variety of reasons, we will reopen the freeway so that people can go back and forth. Again, I do want to reiterate that if you do not live in this area and you're following the smoke, you want to go see what the firefighters are doing, turn on the television set. Do not drive into these areas. You are impacting the ingress and egress of emergency vehicles. We don't need more traffic. We want less traffic. We don't want you walking around in the impacted areas to members who live here. And with that, I'm going to introduce Chief Robert Garcia from the U.S. Forest Service.
Good evening. Just want to first say thank you to Sheriff Luna and Fire Chief Maroney and Director Joe Tyler for the partnership. This incident started out in the early part of the day, as Chief Maroney indicated, and this is in a mutual threat zone, so Los Angeles County Fire Department and the Angeles National Forest entered into unified command right away. And I also want to say how extremely proud I am of the way our responders moved into this area and established command and really established some incident objectives working together. The conditions that we're under aren't as severe as what we've been facing over the last week or two. But what you saw today is indicative of the conditions that we're in terms of the vegetation. So although we're not under a particularly dangerous situation in terms of the wind, our wildland fire condition is critical. Absent wind, the fire is going to move through the vegetation like you saw today with the slope and chasing fuel. Very dangerous conditions as to what led to the U.S. Forest Service closing all of the Angeles National Forest, and this is exactly an example of why. The other thing I want to offer in terms of resources, I hope that all the citizens here in the area are proud of the pre-positioning and the robust response. This area always sees a robust response in the mutual threat zone, but our incidents between the Eaton, the Palisades, our local mobilization centers, our pre-positioned resources put us in a position for multiple waves of surge resources, both engine crews on the ground, hand crews, bulldozers, and aircraft. And so the response you see is the result of the local cooperation and the local pre-planning in the geographic area, not only within the LA area, but also with our partners in the state of California to ensure that we are prepared for what we're now facing. With that, I'm going to turn over the mic to the director of CAL FIRE from Sacramento, Director Joe Tyler.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joe Tyler. I'm the director and fire chief of CAL FIRE. Normally, my office is located in Sacramento, but I have found the need over the last 2 weeks to spend my time here in the greater Los Angeles area. We have been impacted significantly over the last 2 weeks, as we all know, related to the Palisades fire, the Eaton fire, the Hearst fire, the Lydia fire. And as we continue through these weather conditions, we recognize that it's not over yet. We recognize that we still have a couple of days to go. So the state of California brings its full force of the women and men of CAL FIRE, supporting the Los Angeles County Fire Department, our local fire agencies, the Angeles National Forest and the Forest Service abroad, as well as our law enforcement partners who are doing so much to respond to all of these emergencies together. Cal OES has utilized funds to bring together pre-positioned resources across Southern California, and the California National Guard has located aircraft, both rotor wing helicopters and fixed wings mobile or modular MAFS units to be able to supplement the air tankers that we have here available locally. This fire had a robust response today, and as you can see behind us, the responders are doing great work to try to contain this fire. Certainly, we are not out of the woods yet. It is important to take heed and caution and follow the directions of local law enforcement and your first responders as they are asking you to evacuate the area. Doing that will allow our fire resources to be able to conduct perimeter control and extinguish the flaming front of this fire. Many times we find ourselves trying to rescue evacuees, but today the community heeded that lesson and many evacuated the area, allowing them to fight the fire. We will continue to be here to support, not only now, but as we move into the next phase with the potential of rains coming forward and trying to mitigate the landscape to avoid debris flows and flooding. We will be here for you. I want to take the opportunity now to invite the Mayor of Santa Clarita, Bill Miranda, to the podium. Thank you very much. I'm City of Santa Clarita Mayor Bill Miranda. We just cannot say enough about the work our first responders have done over the past couple of weeks and the work that they are currently doing just north of the city. In the wake of the devastation that tore through Los Angeles, claiming homes and lives, understandably, everyone is on heightened alert and all too aware of the damage these fires can cause. I want to re-emphasize the importance of listening to our first responders and paying attention to the emergency alerts. If your area is under evacuation warning or order, please, if it's a warning, prepare to evacuate. If it's an order, evacuate now. Don't wait 10 minutes and see what's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change in 10 minutes. We want you to evacuate now. Do not hesitate. Do not stay. Grab the necessary items and leave as quickly as you can. And when we mention grab the necessary items, we're talking about critical papers or critical medicine that you may need. We're not talking about packing a suitcase. We're talking about packing a backpack and having it ready. We can imagine the stress and extreme conditions our first responders have been under during this unprecedented time. Do your part to help them. And the best way you can do that is to evacuate. Our city is unified. Our city is in unified command with the Los Angeles County Fire Department and the Sheriff's Department. We're working together to ensure that our residents are safe and minimize potential damage to homes and businesses. All city recreation and community services have been canceled for the rest of the day. Our Santa Clarita transit buses are running behind schedule because of the traffic due to the evacuations. I encourage all of you, if you are safe, not in an evacuation zone, please stay home and off our city streets. We need our streets open for evacuees to safely leave and for first responders to get in. Please do your part to help these fighting the Hughes Fire. I want to end with our heartfelt thanks to the firefighters, the Sheriff's Department, deputies, and other first responders. Your efforts have been nothing but heroic. From the city of Santa Clarita, we say thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Now we're going to do question and answer with the media, and after we are finished with this, we will have breakout sessions and we will provide Spanish interviews as well. First question.
What's the plan for the night and into the morning?
So we've already developed the day and the night plan with our unified partners. We are going to be on scene all night long, needing more perimeter control, making sure that we can put out the hot spots, and then have enough resources and staging that if we do have a flare-up, we can move those resources to the fire. So we already have a plan for tonight, and we're making orders for tomorrow.
Okay. Talk more about those plans for the night, the specifics.
Regarding number of resources or job assignments, we're going to keep the 4,000 firefighters assigned to the incident. We're going to increase our perimeter control, and we're going to extinguish those hotspots. Those would be the tasks.
Sheriff Luna, if you can describe the decision-making to first close the I-5 and now reopen, what changed that allowed you to reopen that particular highway?
So, working with our partners at the California Highway Patrol, we needed to have better ingress and egress for emergency vehicles coming through the 5 freeway corridor. I believe that we've gotten a lot of the equipment that we need here. for the rest of the evening. Obviously, that could change, that could be modified. So we want to give the 5 back to our community so they can get through here as safely and as efficiently as they possibly can.
And is there anything in on the way of Interstate 5 that puts those drivers at risk at all, or are you concerned at all about what the traffic will look like?
Always concerned about hazards coming in and out, north and south. As far as I know now, we don't see any hazards, but the winds are...
All right, we've been listening to fire officials in Santa Clarita, California, updating us here on the Hughes Fire. So authorities now say the red flag warning has been extended to Friday at 10 a.m. That is for LA and Ventura County. They also describe this as a dynamic and difficult situation. So far, officials say 31,000 people were told to evacuate the area, and another 23,000 were issued evacuation warnings. This, of course, is a very fluid situation. Stay with us here on CBS News 24/7 for the latest on this. And now we take you back to America Decides.